volume can match your candle time frame, okay? Now, let me see if I can write this. Remember back when we talked about a 5-minute chart? That was a 5-minute candlestick, okay? 5-minute chart, 5-minute candlestick. That meant each candle represented 5 minutes. Each one of these candles represented 5 minutes because we were in a 5-minute chart, all right? Now, like I said, underneath that candlestick, you're going to have volume bars. And I don't know how to draw. You're going to have volume bars, okay? Cool. Now, in this example, because we always use 9:30 to 9:35, that's our 5-minute candlestick, our 5-minute chart. This one candlestick is our 5-minute chart from 9:30 to 9:05, and then we have our volume bars down here. All right, so the volume underneath that 5-minute candlestick is going to be 2,500,000 shares, okay? That means that approximately 2.5 million shares traded during this 5 minutes. During this 5 minutes, 2.5 million shares were traded. All right? But remember, price and volume are different. It's different information. And I'm going to sit this still so y'all can actually, let me actually write shares. You know, we like all the information. All right, screenshot that. Cool. Okay. Now, this distinction between price and volume is actually important because price asks you at what price is the stock trading and how did the price move. Remember, what was the price when it opened? What was the price when it closed? How high did it get? How low did it get? All right, so price asks what price is the stock trading and how did the price move. Now, the volume asks you how many shares traded during this time frame. How many trades went from one hand, how many shares went from one hand to the next hand? How many shares traded? Okay? They're related information, but it's not the same thing because you could have a big price move. So you could have the opening price being $10 and then the closing price being, I don't know, $20, $15, $20. Which is a green candle, but then it was a lower volume, so it wasn't that many shares. Normally, it'd probably be 1 million shares traded during a 5-minute time frame, and that's normal for this specific stock. But maybe it was only 500,000 shares that was traded, but it still had a big old price move, and vice versa. It could have a big price move and a huge volume, or a price drop and a huge volume, or even a little price movement. So maybe $10 to $10.20, but a huge volume. But it was a lot of people trading. Okay? And we'll actually talk about that more a little bit later. So high volume does not mean that the stock is going up. Okay? So suppose TJP has 10 million shares of volume. And we'll write that again. All right. So TJP has 10 million shares. And that is the volume. TJP is at 10 million shares of volume. Can you tell me from this number alone, the 10 million shares, where the TJP went up or down? Can you? No, you cannot. Because the volume tells you that it was just a lot of shares that were being traded at that time. It doesn't by itself tell you the direction of the price. It don't tell you if the price went up. It don't tell you if the price went down. Volume is its own information separate from the actual price. Got it? So volume does not equal, volume equals the activity. It doesn't equal the direction. How many shares were traded, but we don't know if the shares or if the price went up or down. Okay. Now, but Tony, the volume bars are red and green too. Yeah. So most charting platforms color volume bars based on some relationship to the price. Okay. So it's often based on whether the associated candle closed above or below its open, though the exact coloring depends on that actual charting platform. Okay. So you might see a green candle in a green volume bar or a red candle in a red volume bar. But here's what you should not be thinking. 1 million volumes equals 1 million shares bought, or 1 million volume equals 1 million shares sold. Remember, volume equals activity, not direction. We don't know if more people was selling or more people was buying. We don't know. All we know is that amount of shares were being traded during that specific time frame. That's the volume. Okay? So there's no such thing as buyer volume or seller volume. All we know is that those trades were being passed from hand to hand. We don't know what hand it was passed from. We don't know if the buyer was passing to the seller or if the seller was passing to the buyer. We just know that this is the amount of shares that were passed from a hand to a hand. That's it. All right. So why as we as a day trader should be worried about volume? Like why should it matter to us? Okay, so let's go back to I think I used like a Facebook Marketplace example one time. So let's go back to Facebook Marketplace. Imagine you're trying to sell a couch, right? In Marketplace A, there's 2 people online, nobody is messaging, and nobody wants anything. And then in Marketplace B, it's 50,000 people online. Messages are everywhere and things are being bought and sold constantly. Which marketplace would you be wanting to try to sell your couch at? Marketplace A or Marketplace B? Marketplace B, okay? Usually Marketplace B. And stocks can behave similarly. So when a stock has substantial trading activity, there may be more opportunities for orders to transact efficiently. So it may be more opportunities for you as a buyer to sell if there's more people trying to buy or sell, and vice versa. I can't remember what I just said. But if it's more people making transactions and trades, you're likely to be able to buy or sell your shares. Got it? All right. So now this leads us into, and y'all, I went and learned how to say it. It's liquidity. This leads us to our vocabulary word, liquidity. And liquidity is how easy you can buy or sell things without causing or suffering a large price change. So think of liquidity as, of course, water, and water flows easily. It might not interrupt anything. It just kind of flows, goes with the flow. Think of that as liquidity. That's about to mess me up. So it's how easy you can buy or sell things without causing or suffering a large price change. So a liquid stock generally has lots of active participation and enough available buying and selling interest around the current prices that trading can happen relatively easy. So like Marketplace B, if you have a lot of people in there making trades, buying and selling stuff, it's easy for you to just simply slip in, buy or sell something, and come on out of there. That's basically what liquidity is. How easy can I get in and buy and sell something without causing a big old spike or drop in price change? That's it. Got it?